Konnichiwa.
Freddie's son, Burnsy's in Japan. Time for me to go and see what life's like in Japan. Freddie's son, Burnsy's in Japan. So come on, let's go see what Burnsy's up to in Japan.
Freddie, so we've spoken about some of the stuff off the field in terms of the culture. I was going to say weirdness. It's not. We're actually the weird ones. My mum always said that because I'm a quarter Chinese. And I said, oh, the Chinese are a bit weird. She said, well, actually, they're the biggest population. So we shouldn't say weird. It's not meant to be disrespectful. It's a different culture. We spoke about some of the stuff that you've had to deal with. But on and off the pitch, are there any traditions? Like, you know, you've been in many a Premiership changing room where there's a lot of shouting, there's a lot of spray being thrown all over the hands, halftime oranges. Anything going on in Japan where you're looking at thinking, my word, what is this?
Match day over here is bonkers because you have to take your own kit. You take like every piece, like your shorts and that. The only thing that is supplied is your match jersey. So, you know, normally, you know what it's like. You rock up on a Premiership day. Your boots are probably already in the changing room. Your socks, your shorts, your warm-up top, everything is there, like for you to ready to go. Not here, mate. You have to bring it all. If you forget a pair of socks, you're just playing without socks, pretty much. It's how it feels. So there's that, and then there's a few weird ones, mate. On a match day, like it's like the pre-match feed that they like to give the boys is like just like a sandwich, like an egg sandwich,
carbs and protein.
Yeah, but and a rice ball, literally just a ball of rice. It's just a ball. It's like sometimes they come in like a triangle, sometimes they come as a ball, but it's literally just a ball of rice. And then when you get to the stadium, mate, like I got to the stadium first game against Qden. We arrived an hour and a half before kickoff. Me being a goal kicker, get changed, get my boots on it. Right, I'll go familiarise myself with the pitch. Walked onto the pitch, started doing a warm-up. Next note, some Japanese blokes running up to me, telling me to get off the pitch. And I'm stood there going, no, mate, like, there's a game I'm playing. Like, I'm like, you know, I had it once at Twickenham when we played in the clash with Bath. I tried to walk on the pitch and I didn't have my lanyard on. And the guy asked me what I was doing. I said, mate, I'm playing in an hour. So anyway, I'm having an argument with not an argument with this Japanese guy, but I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get what's going on. Why can't I be out here warming up? So, of course, what do? Call Ken over, translator. Over comes Ken. He's like, oh, yeah, mate, you're not allowed on the pitch until 28 minutes before kickoff. I was like, so what have I got to do for the next hour? He's like, well, yeah, whatever. You can warm up in the dead ball line, but you can't be on the pitch. And I'm like, you know, I had to change my whole match day routine, mate, because in the Premiership, you're on the pitch however long you want before the game, no matter what. So I went back in, chilled out, and then the referee comes in to do the old stud check, right? He looked at my studs for a split second, and then he spent 20 seconds looking at my nails, mate. They inspect your nails your nails have to be a certain length, like under a certain length.
What, your fingernails or toenails?
Fingernails. Yeah, not the toe. Yeah, toenails are right, mate. But fingernails. So I was like, I didn't realise I had to get a blooming. What's your hands? Mani or pedi? Manicure. What do I get?
I don't know. I've never had my hands done.
Well, we sit there and they paint it out, whatever. Manicure, I think it is. I'm going to have to start getting a manicure before the games, Jim. But I couldn't believe it. They're like, check your nails, and then that's it, mate. And then you play, you're on the bus, you're back home.
Then we come on to recovery, Fred. So we know in the UK and across Europe, across the world, recovery baths, hot baths, we've had cold baths, but I've seen something around onsen baths. Tell us a little bit about what they are and how they've impacted your life since being in Japan.
Well, Jim, the onsen is basically the old school big bath. They're obviously famous.
Turkish style.
Yeah, like a massive bath. And it was great because it's actually got better for me because before COVID and the regulations, we're only allowed 5 in the onsen now at training. Whereas before it was a free-for-all and there was bush everywhere, Jim. Like,
oh my word.
Honestly, Like these blokes over here, I've said it a bit before, but the bush over here is stifling.
It's natural. It's natural. Completely natural.
Oh, look at that bush grow. Oh, that Japanese bush grow.
What I don't get is you get in these onsens, mate. These onsens like 1,000,000 degrees. Like, you know, you want a hot bath. These things are boiling, Jim. Like, you could easily poach an egg in it. Like, yeah, but mate, I like a hot bath. But this is like chip fat. Like, and obviously, me being as white as I am, I come out, I am bright red. I've got 3rd-degree burns, mate. Like, honestly, I get out of the bath, I have to go and ice myself, mate, to cool down. Like, they are ridiculous, mate. But no, I actually had a good experience. We had a game down in Beppu, which is kind of like you arrive in Beppu, right? You get off the train or the plane or whatever, however you get there, and it stinks, mate, because it's all I want to say sulfur. So basically,
the underground heat.
Yeah, and mate, you get out, and it absolutely hums, mate. It's horrible. But I actually found a sand onsen, Jim, which is where you get buried up to your neck in sand. And again, I went with the other translator, Yui, and they sort of say, "Oh, do you want it hot? Like, how hot do you want it?" And I said, Yui, tell her like reasonable, but not too much. He decides to tell me afterwards when I got 3rd-degree burns on the back of my calf and on my butt cheeks, that he told her to make it as hot as she could. So I'm up to my neck. I'm up to my neck in sand, mate. Jim, I'm panicking. You know when you're like I was seriously struggling, mate. And like to the point where you're meant to like asleep, like you've got 15, 20 minutes in there. You're meant to go to sleep, mate, and relax. You know when you're just panicking, like this, Jim. It was horrible. And then you go into the onsen after that naked to wash off, and there's actually a very good picture of me with a burnt butt cheek and a burnt calf, mate.
So game's been played, you've won comfortably, recovery's been done, and then it's on to probably the main reason why you might have gone to Japan is the culture, but also the nights out. Tell me a little bit about the team socials. You've arrived there. I know that things were open initially. Tell me a little bit about the team socials and the culture. Gloucester's culture, part of ours was the young lads had to shave their head or drink a litre of milk, lads.
Yeah.
The Exeter lads, naked bus. What happens in Japan, Fred? What happens?
Mate, to be honest with you, rather disappointingly, there's no real post after your first game. I'm not sure if it's COVID related, but there's no real like singing songs or anything like that at the minute. But we had our first team social back a few months ago now, because obviously I've been locked down since New Year's Eve. So this was before we even played a game. And we had one of the company function rooms booked out, and you arrived and you had your food. You all got sat on tables, so it wasn't like a free for all. You had like a seat that you had to sit in, right? And you sit down, and the food comes out. And Jim, normally on team socials, you're happy with sausage, chips, and beans, or bring in the fish and chips, or whatever it is, mate. Out came this like tuna sashimi, little bit of this weird, mate. There's this weird stuff over here. I don't know what it is, but it's like this green horrible stuff. But like it was like proper served to you like fine dining.
Oh, and lovely.
They did a brilliant thing that I've never seen at a team social, where there was a few drinking games and that throughout the night. And then next thing you know, they've got all the tables and they've made a square. Okay. 2 of the boys get called out. They're in the middle of the square. They get blindfolded, and then they're handed what is like the inside of a wrapping paper tube. Okay. And they're blindfolded, and basically everyone falls silent, and they just have to work their way around this square, and the first one to hit the other one wins. But obviously it's a relatively big square, Jim. So some boys are like a broken toy up against the wall, just swinging randomly, and then suddenly they'll just clock one of them and everyone erupts. And Matt, I actually thought it was one of the best team social things I've seen, mate. But I do have a video, I think. That was rather funny.
So the obligatories are done. The team social has been had. The cheers, the drinks, the hierarchy, you're bottom of the pile. Then it's on to the night out, right? So this is why you're in Japan. The Montpellier monster, nicknamed by himself, is out in Japan. Are people looking at you like, what is this bloke? Who is this bloke? Are they loving you? Are they hating you?
Well, to be fair, mate, a little bit, but they sort of look at you. But that's because I'm with all the other foreigners who are all 6'2" plus, Jim. Do you know what I mean? And over here, they're the smallest people in the world, I think. Honestly, the height of some of these people is just, it's mind blowing how small these people are. So the bigger boys, I'll call them, the bigger boys get more of the looks than me. But we've had a couple of nights out, mate. It's quite weird over here. To be honest with you, I had one night out in Nagoya and took the translator with me, and didn't really. Well, I realised, but there's a lot of the old hostess bars over here, mate, where you go in and straight away a girl will come up to you and start ordering drinks, and then before you know it, they flirt with the guys. You spend a fortune, and then they leave, and you've just got a massive bill that you have to pick up at the end. So I walked in and I've sussed it out quite quickly, Jim. And I'll be honest with you, it's not my bag, Jim. Do you know what I mean? If I don't want to pay a lot of money for the company of a woman who's just going to leave you, right? This one comes up to me and I've clocked it, and I'm like, look, I said to her, she spoke a bit of thing. I said, look, I know exactly what you're up to. Look, you're a great girl. I understand, but look, just want to let you know, you're barking up the wrong tree if you think that you're going to I think that you're flirting with me because you like me or whatever. You just want me to order.
I'm the Montpellier monster. I'm the Montpellier monster. That doesn't happen. Mate, you buy me a drink.
Well, mate, I'll be honest with you, 4 months on, it'd be a completely different conversation, mate, if we were now.
You buy drinks all night. Why?
I'm like, what do you want? How much? Like, I'd be terrible. But anyway, I sussed around and I was like, look, I'm not falling for this. And I was real proud of how I was. The whole time I didn't realise that my little mate, the translator's in the corner ordering bottles of Moe. And next thing I get a 100,000 yen bill put in front of me, which is not too far shy of $1,000 over here. And it just gutted me, mate. So I just knew that I got my wits about me, and I was like, nah, I can't do that again. So after that, I ventured to other places. Had a good night out I went to Kyoto on my own. So I went to Kyoto on my own, had a little look around, went to a bamboo forest, and then went to Fushimi Inari, which is the orange sort of pillars that go all the way up through the mountain, which was unbelievable. Went there at like 6 a.m. But the night before, I went out for dinner on my own, had a nice bit of Kobe beef, Jim. Kobe beef, honestly. Unbelievable.
Lovely.
It will cost a bit, but it was unbelievable. And then I've Googled this cocktail bar, and it looked quite good. So I've sort of walked down, 20-minute walk, got outside this cocktail bar. It's in this little room, this little door, and it's got steps straight away. And I open the door, go to walk up the steps, and a pair of heels start coming down. So I was
that noise. You know that noise.
Well, I didn't need to hear the noise, Jim. I could see the feet. So they're coming down the stairs, and I'm like, right. So I do the gentleman thing. I back down. I hold the door open, and as this blonde woman walks past me, she goes, "Oh, like, thank you very much." In obviously not an English accent, but in speaking English, mate. My eyes lit up. I thought, here we go. Like, do you know what I mean? I've a bit of company would be nice. So I'm like, somebody speaks English. Like, how are you? Like this. As I've said that, I've turned, and her boyfriend's coming down the stairs, and it's Billy LaRue. So suddenly straight away, I go bright red. My voice, Billy, hello, mate. Like, how are you? Like, all this sort of stuff. So I had a photo with him and all that. Yeah, well, mate, from the Premiership days, we had a good little chat. But yeah, I won't lie, I was pretty fucking embarrassed. Don't get me wrong, I'm well aware of what I look like as a human being, and my chances were already probably pretty slim. But the fact that she's Billy LaRue's missus probably embarrassed me a little bit more. So I was a bit disappointed, but it was just one of those occurrences that happens, mate. And I sort of sucked my pride up and tried to have a dignified conversation with him.
So you go home, Freddie, empty-handed, unfortunately. And what would normally happen in the UK is you order a takeaway and you whip out the dating app. I don't know this. I'm happily married, obviously, for years, and dating apps weren't around when I was younger. But dating app has been a go-to for many men. How does that look for you?
No, I'll be honest with you. When I got over here and I had my 2 weeks isolation period, like quarantine period, I thought I'd just have a little look, make new friends as you do, Jim, in a new country. And genuinely, it was pictures of cats and ramen. That was pretty much it.
Cats and noodles.
And noodles in soup. Like, that was...
As in the profile pictures?
As in the profile pictures. There's a couple of goes that's thrown in there, mate, but pretty much it was and I spent probably about a week on it just seeing if anything would come up that sort of tickled my fancy that I'd like to get to know or whatever. But, mate, I've since ceased using any dating apps out here.
My mate Dave, right, who's a pilot, he went on a date when he was out there with a good lady called Hina, which actually means good vegetable. Or is it Hino? It might have been Hino. But either way, her name meant good vegetable. And when they got to the date, they rocked up at the restaurant, and the first thing she did was handed him a gift. And he's like, he didn't have a gift for her. Like, he didn't even have flowers. And he opened up the bag and see what the gift was. It was 2 hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Me mate Dave, the pilot, she couldn't speak any English. And they just sat and looked at the eggs on the table, didn't really speak. He didn't know what to do with the eggs, and then left, and he didn't see her again.
Mate, food in Japan is a very, like, gifts are food over here. Food is a very sort of established gift. Like, that's a very nice gift to get if someone gives you food, either strawberries or chocolates or whatever, mate. Not too sure about hard-boiled eggs. Did he eat them or not? What did he do? Crack them open in front of him?
No, he said he didn't know whether, if they had been fermented, or he didn't really know. He just said it was a very weird experience, and he flew back to the UK the next day, and that was his dating experience in Japan.
Say, who's your budgy buddy? I said, who's your budgy buddy?
So, Bernsey, who is your budgy buddy of the week? Give us the reason why. Why? Why, oh, why?
So I'm here in my hotel room in Osaka with my budgy buddy player of the week, my scrum half partner, Keita, because episode 1, I said he couldn't say ud. We had a few language barrier issues, and now the big man comes in. What have we got? Ud. 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 Yes. Well done, mate. Yes.
It's time for Big Jim Japanese quiz. It's time for Big Jim. Oh, yes, it is.
Japan is known as the land of the rising sun. Do you know why that is?
Is this a trick question, or are you trying to trick me?
No, not at all. No.
The land of the rising sun. Well, the obvious answer, Jim, would be because the sunrises over here are unbelievable. But I'm not too sure. Is it? I don't know. It's got to be something to do with how the sun rises or something. And
No, you're absolutely right. So the education for you today, Fred, is that reason, because Japan as a country is seen as being very close to the sun. So it's a great analogy. It's a great place to start. It's a great place to finish, Fred. Anyone that's got any questions for you or for me, but I'm not in Japan, they could just comment below on this YouTube page. Keep it clean-ish. And we will read them out next week, and we will engage with them.
Konnichiwa. Freddie's son, Burnsy's in Japan. Time for me to go and see what life's like in Japan. Freddie's son, Burnsy's in Japan. So come on, let's go see what Burnsy's up to in Japan.